Hello, this is the start of my Tome Topple Round 12 vlog. So I have my camera back, which is fantastic. Well, not my camera. They actually replaced my camera for way cheaper than it would have cost to repair it and gave me a brand new camera with the 1-year warranty. Cool, cool. But it's way easier to film on my camera than on my phone, even though some of you liked the look of my phone. The camera's like so much easier, and that's why I have a camera. So anyway, as per usual with the last few rounds, I have not started Tome Topple yet. So it's the 8th, and I am not ready to start reading tomes. I'm still reading The Devouring Grey, which is not a Tome Topple book. I'm actually reading this for the Avatar: The Last Page Turner readathon, which in my head I was like, I can get like 3 books read before Tome Topple. False. Also, like Tome Topple starts the 8th, and that's the beginning of the month. But also, I feel like it came around too quick. I was not prepared, even though it's my readathon. I was not ready. So I do plan to finish this and then start reading The Poppy War. Problem is it's like already 7:30 at night. I need to take the dog for a walk, and I'm gonna film tonight. So I have to put on like a little bit more like makeup. Well, I have to put on eyelashes and then film, which will probably, that whole process will take like an hour or so. So will I get a lot of reading done? Like, I've been reading about 100 pages of this a day, so it's a quick read, so I think I'll be able to finish it tonight, but there's a chance that I won't. So here we go. As per usual with the start of my Tome Topple vlogs, we're like, I'm not ready for the actual readathon. Yay. Hello. It is the 10th, and I have officially started The Poppy War last night, so I'm about like 85 pages into it, I want to say. Yes. And I'm liking it so far. So this, I think, will be a fairly like quick read. I know that it's like very hard. There's some brutal topics. There's a lot of trigger warnings for this. So I don't know how that's going to go when I get to those points. I'm pretty good about reading things that are pretty brutal in books. It's harder to watch on TV and like movies and stuff, but like more brutal books I tend to be able to read. So it is set up in a way that's pretty easy to read. And the only thing is like, she's at a school, and it's like a very prestigious school and whatever. So we had the trope that's very common in books where she's the outsider, she's looked down on because she's from like a rural area, people are like mean girling and mean boying her and like bullying her and stuff, and those like plot lines I just don't love, but like it makes sense for this, and like I wouldn't necessarily change it, but I'm just like, oh, I hate that a lot. So yeah, it just is like that level of like discomfort where you're just like, I don't like this. Enjoying this. So I'm actually waiting for Tally to get her teeth cleaned. I took her this morning. It's pretty early, that's why I look like a thumb. I took her and dropped her off because she's getting a teeth cleaning so that we can maintain her pearly whites after that and hopefully never have to get her teeth cleaned ever again. But she did a total number on me guilt trip wise and was just like crying until the vet tech came to get her. I'm just like, I'm sorry, it's for your own good, but like you make me feel bad. So I'm gonna read a little bit of that and then probably take a nap because I barely got any sleep last night for some reason. Like I just couldn't fall asleep. And then hopefully you'll get her and you can see her and her cuteness if I remember to do an update. I don't feel quite exhausted yet, so I'm going to read a little bit before the nap and then take a nap. So, and it's very like, it's a dreary, foggy, humid day, and I just don't want to do anything because of the weather, so. So I've read 160 pages of The Poppy War. Today was a long day. I had to take Tally in to get her teeth cleaned at the vet, and I have to put her out and stuff. And when I went to get her, it was right when a huge storm was rolling in, and there happened to be a tornado warning. So all of us that were waiting for our pets in our cars, because nobody is going into the offices, the vet techs just come out and get your pet and then bring it in and then call you if they have a procedure for you to come pick them up. We all had to rush inside, and then they rushed us in the basement, middle of a pandemic, trying to space us all out with all of our dogs. And we sat there for an hour because there was literally a tornado warning for an hour. I posted about it briefly on my Instagram stories for that day. And then when we got out, like some areas were fine and some areas had like trees completely destroyed, power lines completely destroyed. My house was fine, I'm fine, everyone I know is fine. But just like a lot of property damage and stuff because of how powerful the winds were. So yeah, that was great. So I've been like very exhausted and like intermittently going on TikTok and then reading Poppy War. But I'm going to try to read and get up to 200 pages today. I think I can do that. I want to read about 100 pages a day to get through it because then I can get close to finishing 3 books for Tome Topple. This is the sleepy baby. That was just where they put her IV in, so she's not actually hurt. She's just very groggy and tired. Yeah. Oh, they're sleepy. Hello, it is Tuesday the 11th. I am 300 pages into the Poppy War. I think I might read a little bit more of it tonight. I am loving this. I know this book is like full of trigger warnings and that there's chapters later than what I'm at. They're gonna have some rough stuff in it. But this is just like a very easy read for me, like very quick, very engaging. It's a really good book about like showing the passage of time, because this is already covered like I think at least 4 years, but I can like feel it. And you know, like some books you read and you can't really feel the passage of time, and for this I can. And this book is really good about showing growth even without having to be like super verbose, like as far as growth within our like main character. So yeah, I love her. I love the like magical things that are coming into this, because at the beginning there's not like a ton of magical stuff, and then that starts to come more into play later. So yeah, I'm a little nervous about how attached I am to her as a character, because I'm like, okay, bad things are gonna happen. Are they gonna happen to her? Like, so yeah, I'm a little scared about that. But I'm pretty excited because I had a full day of work today, and usually on my work days I don't really try to read too much, but I'm still trying to read 100 pages a day kind of regardless, and I got well over that today, which is great. So I'm hoping that I can keep that up and I can see myself finishing that. Honestly, I'm on 300 pages today, so probably Thursday I'll finish it up if everything goes according to plan, which means that I could stay on track for finishing possibly 3 books during this whole thing. Hello. It is August the 12th, so that means it's my birthday, and I haven't done any reading today. I've been getting other things done. I slept in because it's my birthday and I can, and I've really been just like watering most of my plants and doing like plant care this morning, and I'm probably gonna go to the metaphysical shop because I can, and yeah, just do plant stuff. I might repot a couple of plants today, and then we're probably going to get takeout from somewhere for my birthday. And my mom, I know, is getting me a cake, a bundt cake. So yeah, I just want to show you my plants because I know you guys like the plant content. And I just did a plant tour on my other channel like maybe a month ago, and I've gotten I think 5 plants since then, and they're just like, all the plants are thriving. Like they're just getting like huge, like not like huge because a lot of these are in like 3 and 4 inch pots, but like they're just flourishing. And I don't want summer to end for that reason, because plants like don't grow at all from like October to like May, honestly, around here. I think like maybe May was when mine started to kind of like grow again, and it just makes me sad. That's the dishwasher, but I can't do anything about that because I water my plants in the kitchen. But let me show you what I'm working on right now. So here's where I'm putting out all of my plants. These 2 still have to be watered. These are 2 different kinds of Hoya, and then I'm watering this one. This is how I do it. I bottom water it, so basically I fill this dish with water and then it soaks it up into the roots that way. So this is my philodendron micans, and this is my Hoya macrophylla, I think. This one's really nice because it just kind of droops these leaves when it needs water, so I know that. But I did some pruning of this one. You're probably not gonna be able to see because of the lighting. Blech. I did some pruning of this peperonia because she is just like thriving, and so a lot of her bottom leaves were all yellow because she's growing new leaves, so I did some pruning of her. I had a friend send me flowers for my birthday, so these are pretty. There's Tally licking her leg like she's not supposed to. Look at her, she's like, oops, I got caught. She's not hurt. She got her teeth clean and they had to put her under because that's what they do for animals. So she has this little bit of bare skin, which isn't even really wet. She just kind of like looks at it like, why is my hair gone? I don't know, baby, why is your hair gone? Super weird, you're naked there. And then these guys, ooh, let me see if I can like, ugh, the lighting, man. I'm so sorry. This one I already watered. That is my Scindapsus pictus silvery Ann. I know the lighting is like total shit. Let's see if I can, there, that kind of helps. So that's my silvery Ann, but like she has all of these new growth points like everywhere. And then this is my Cebu Blue Pothos. Again, the leaves are like pretty big. She's a growing. Actually, I kind of feel like it's a he. I don't know. And then this is my Hoya Crimson Queen. So loving her. I really need to get a trellis for her. Actually, a lot of my Hoyas kind of need a trellis so they can start climbing up that. And then this is my Monstera Ansonii. I mean, really getting just like growing like crazy. And over here is my String of Hearts, which I don't know if you can see, but it's all the way down to the floor. And this is my Hoya Billetonie? I forget. This one really needs to be repotted because it came in sphagnum moss and I want to repot it, but it's also like doing so well and I get so nervous to repot Hoyas because I'm afraid that they're gonna rebel against me and die. And this beast is my heartleaf philodendron. Like, look at how, like, there's just growth everywhere. Like, I got this and it was just like 4 leaves. And I got this at the very beginning of the season and it's just a beast. I love it so much. So yeah, all my plants are doing like super well, thriving. Yeah, they're all doing well. I mean, my calatheas like occasionally will throw a little bit of a fit, but they're still like not dead. And I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. So want to repot some of these, a number of these, because a lot of them are growing, like the roots are growing out the bottom of the pots, because a lot of them are still in nursery pots, so I need to get them like actual homes. So I'm gonna do that today in the metaphysical store, and then we'll spend the rest of my day reading. I also need to do my book haul because I got a ton of books that I haven't yet opened for my birthday. So I gotta do that, but I want to head to the stores before they close because most of these kinds of stores close at like 5 and it's 3. Hello, it is Thursday the 13th. So yesterday is my birthday, as I mentioned. Didn't get a lot of reading done, like did a lot of other things that day. Got about 50 pages read, and then today was a full day of work. So I had clients back to back until about 9 o'clock at night. So didn't get a ton of reading done today, but I have read, well, it hasn't been bad. I've read about 70 pages. I'll probably read maybe 30 more before bed. I don't know, can't decide. But I did just finish chapter 21, which is the like big gruesome chapter in this book. So if you have not heard about the multiple trigger warnings for this book, trigger warnings for all kinds of graphic violence and bodily horror, gore, torture, rape, abuse, death of animals, death of children, death of every type of person in every grotesque way. It's horrible, and it's based on historical like fact. So even though this is a fantasy, it's based on some of the atrocious acts that happened then. So I had warning that this was a chapter that was going to be rough, and it was. I am able to read gore and like horrible things more so than watch it. If I was watching it, I would be deeply, deeply disturbed if this was on like TV or a movie or something. I can read it and kind of like skim. Like there were definitely parts that I saw like certain things about like babies or something, and I'm like, I'm just gonna skip it. So yeah, but I read most of it and it was just like, again, like sort of skim reading it. So yeah, rough. So make sure if you're gonna read this to like read the trigger warnings, because I know some people will be very deeply bothered long term by this. I was definitely like bothered while I was reading it. Like my muscles just like tightened up, just like that like ugh, like revulsion feeling. But it's not gonna like haunt me. Again, with reading, my brain doesn't visualize things that clearly. Or if I watched it on like TV or something, I'd be like, I am going to be throwing up for a month. All that being said, I am really liking this book, and just like the way the characters are written and the magic and the like the brutality of it and the brutality of the world makes the character motivations very like understandable and just like interesting, and the way that like the military and everything is set up. Usually I'm very like about any kind of like military based fantasy, but this doesn't feel like that. This has much more like military politics, which is kind of cool. And yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I thought that I would, but obviously hearing all the trigger warnings, you're never quite sure if it's going to be like too much, but I don't feel that this is like gratuitous violence for gratuitous violence's sake. This is like, wow, this is what happens during wartime, and this is a thing that happened in history, in like our history, not just a fantastical world. Holy shit. Humans can be exceptionally awful to each other. So yeah, I'm hoping to finish this tomorrow. I don't have any clients on Fridays ever, because Fridays are a bad therapy day. People want to like do things after work. So I'm gonna, like I said, probably read a little bit of this tonight, a little bit more, and then finish this for sure tomorrow, which means that I'll be a full week into Tome Topple almost. So I don't know if I'll get my 3 books read. I will probably just get the 2, but I'll probably get at least a chunk into the 3rd one that I'm hoping to read. So we'll see. Don't know if it's gonna happen, but I'd like it to. I would love to read 3 books. I just don't think it's gonna happen, especially on work days. I have full clients from like 2 to like 9 o'clock at night on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So, and I'm just adding to my schedule, so I'll also start having people on Wednesdays and Saturdays. But yeah, like a full day of client work doesn't really lead to a lot of like reading at night, but if I get up early enough to get errands and things done and also have time for reading, then I can do it in the morning before work. So that's just me rambling and saying like maybe I can schedule this for myself, maybe not. Hello, it is August 14th and I have finished the Poppy War. This was great, as I expected. There's something about this because it's ultimately a character who is motivated by like vengeance and their anger, but it's like a slow burn, cold anger. I feel like there's so many stories of people who are so like dramatic in their anger, I guess, like villain stories, although I don't think Rin's a villain. Morally gray, absolutely. But there's usually these big explosive vengeance stories, and although this has that element, I feel that emotionally Rin's anger is much more like quiet building, burning, this like smolderingness that you don't quite see in some of these like vengeance stories. And I really loved the themes here of things being about choices and it being your choices, and no one's forcing you to do anything. And the story really is saying over and over like that Rin made the choices that she made that got her to where she was, and no one else forced her to do anything. So it's just really, really good. So very much looking forward to the rest of the series. Have no idea where it's gonna go. Yes, this was incredibly brutal, like I said in my clip yesterday, but not so much so that I, again, am like very bothered by it, because I can read gore and stuff, I just really can't watch it. But loved this, and automatically already added the next 2 books to my wish list and to my like Goodreads TBR and everything. So I have a lot of books that I need to read before I would get to this necessarily, but I don't know. I can see myself being like, I need to get the 2nd book. So we'll see. The 3rd book comes out in November. So I do have some time to kind of catch up on other things before I get to this. But yeah, loved this. This will be a book that sticks with me, and I'm pretty sure I predicted it on my 5-star TBR, and it definitely was 5 stars. Hi, it is Sunday the 16th, and I am 100 pages into The Warrior Moon by Kay Arsenal Rivera. This one is the very last book in the series, and I kind of was like losing interest during reading the 2nd book in the series, but I had the last book and I decided I would finish it out, but that's making me less motivated to read it, just because I'm like, well, whatever. I'm kind of just reading it to finish it, but I heard the end is like kind of good from people that have read it. So yeah, I had intended to read a bunch of this today, but I have not been big on the binge reading lately. I can't do it really, so I didn't do that. I spent a lot of my day laying in bed, scrolling through TikTok. I went to the grocery store. That was like a whole thing. And I repotted a couple of my plants. So yeah, and then tomorrow I don't know how much reading I'll get done because I am going on a hike and I have a couple work things to do. I don't work Mondays technically. I mean, I'm available, but I don't see clients on Mondays, but I have like supervision on Mondays and other stuff. So yeah, I don't know. But this is a about 600 page book, so I would love to finish it like I keep saying and start another book during Tome Topple, but I don't necessarily foresee that happening. Hello, it is day 19 and I am woefully behind on my reading. I think I'm maybe up to page 200. Not even. Didn't really get a lot read yesterday. Just haven't had a lot of time to read. Like, went for a hike on Monday. Have been doing stuff today. I think I did a little bit of reading this morning, but I'm going to repot a plant. And I thought I might show you guys. 1, to bulk up the vlog a bit, but 2, because I know you guys really like my plant stuff and updates, which I might also do because a lot of my plants have grown so much. It's my 3rd plant that I've repotted this week. This way I'm gonna kind of show you. But I am repotting it in a dress that I wear to work because I don't feel like changing because I have another session in 40 minutes. So I don't want to change and then change again. So hopefully this is good and I can show you the footage and I don't flash you because then you won't see the footage. And I do mix up my own soil based on what plant people I watch do. So that's what you'll get to see, but I'm not really going to walk you through it because I'm no expert. Oh, I'm missing a soil type. I said earlier when I was repotting plants that I thought I was at like page 200, but I was at page 180 and I'm now at page 230. But I read like 2 2.5 hours ago, and then I've just spent the last 2.5 hours on like Reddit and TikTok because I just can't be bothered. But I need to finish this book. But like, kind of like I felt like the second book in this series, I'm just kind of like, I don't care that much. Like, I don't hate it, but I don't love it, so I don't have any deep motivation to read it. But I need to, because I'd like to finish it during Tome Topple, but I don't think I'm gonna, because this is a 600-page book. But there's a chance that I could get some reading done tomorrow before work, even though I have a pretty long work day, because some people are coming to tear up our garage and reconcrete it tomorrow, and they're coming at 7 o'clock in the morning. So even though it's almost 3 o'clock in the morning right now, there's a chance I could get woken up by a jackhammer tomorrow morning. Hello, it is officially the end of Tome Topple, and I got 363 pages into The Warrior Moon. So I read all the Poppy War, which is like 500 something pages, and 360 pages of this. Probably 900-ish pages read. I want to take in more of this read, and I'm actually getting to the part where like there's a lot of fantasy elements now in this one, like a ton more than the rest of the series, which is fantastic. But I think starting my new job, even though I'm not like tired, I'm very like emotionally tired. Not burnt out, like obviously that would be really fast to get burnt out, but I think my brain is not used to talking to people so much every day. Like I'll have like 6 hours straight of video calls for therapy, and that's very exhausting when you weren't having like any social interaction. So when I get done with that, like I don't want to do anything. So reading is difficult. But also this readathon round like went by so fast. I mean, I know they always do, but I really was like, is it almost the end of August? Like this readathon round snuck up on me as well. I really just thought I had more time. So yeah, I would have liked to get to more this round, but that just wasn't gonna happen. So I might read a little bit more of this tonight, like maybe one more chapter, and then finish this before the end of the month, obviously. And I will let you know all of my final thoughts in my wrap up at the end of the month. But yeah, reading this much slower. I mean, it's a long book. It's a chunker. But yeah, I hope this vlog was interesting. I know I say this like every time, but I really feel like this one was like I did the least because obviously not going anywhere, and also like not reading necessarily even every day. I mean, I tended to read like at least every day, but sometimes smaller amounts. So yeah, I believe the next round will be in November, so look forward to that, because now I'm going to probably be going back to regularly scheduled rounds like once a season. I was having them like almost every 2 months with like quarantine and stuff, but now that like I'm back to work, a lot of us are back to work, things are not normal, but like work schedule is like back. I don't quite have the time all the time to do the tome topples, even though I have so many tomes that you guys will see in my book haul this month for my birthday. Most of the books that I got were tomes, which I knew, I asked for them, but I have a lot. So I have a lot of books that would be Tome Topple books. So maybe there will be a lot of rounds, I don't know. But comment down below and let me know how your Tome Topple went. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see all of you guys soon. Bye.